Welcome to the Fempire podcast for women building empires where your health, relationships, and wealth rise together. Here we focus on what moves the needle the most. I am your host, Jessica Joy. Let's sharpen the axe and dive in. There is a sneaky factor that will keep you from getting the health and body that you want until you change it. And that secret is your beliefs that are running the show under the surface. Now, you may have heard this before, where it's like, oh, your beliefs create your reality, but I want to paint the picture of how this shows up in women's health and fat loss, because I have coached over 500 women, and I can see the common denominator of the ones who continue progressing and continue seeing success with the results that they want to have, regardless of their circumstances, regardless of their age, regardless of their work, regardless of if they've had kids, their hormones, their metabolism, regardless of anything outside of them, they're able to progress because of the beliefs they have running the show, paired with a smart strategy, which we'll also talk about. Okay, so I'm going to narrow this down to the top 4 beliefs that I see stalling women. And what all you need to do is to start practicing awareness to see if you have them. And that will help you bring the unconscious to the conscious. And then once it's conscious, you can practice shifting it. And all it is repeating the new belief and building results and creating evidence of the new belief. Let's go. Okay. Number 1 belief is deep down, you don't actually think your goal is possible. I would say most women probably feel this way because they've tried so many things and over time have lost weight and regained it, or they put effort in and didn't see results. And over time, you start to create the belief that it's not possible because your brain has gathered so much data of the truth, quote, truth of that, when it does not have to be true. What has been in the gap has been, where have your beliefs been at? What strategies have you been using? Did you just need to stay the course instead of creating a story that it wasn't possible, right? So if you are operating under this belief, then your beliefs will lead to the actions you take and the results that you get. So it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. So if you do not believe they're actually possible, what will start to happen is, those little opportunities to back out, you will take. Whether that's the food choices you're making, whether that's if you decide to fit in the workout or not, whether you decide that you need to get blood work done. It's like deep down, if you don't believe it's possible, the actions will be inconsistent and therefore your results will be a self-fulfilling prophecy. Oh, look, it's not possible. Now let's replace this with a belief that will support the goal that you want. That is believing that it's possible. Now, this can feel like pie in the sky fairy dust. Like, well, Jess, I want to believe it's possible, but based on all the experiences I've had thus far, that's feeling like a pipe dream. Okay, gotcha. So hang tight. We will circle back to the shifts that you can make to build that belief, because ultimately you need to start having some results that prove to you, that give you evidence that it is possible. So I want to show you how to gather more results so that you can build your evidence of, I can do this, it's possible. Amazing. Okay. So number 2 is you believe your goals are possible, but you don't believe they're maintainable. It's like, yeah, I could get there if I worked my butt off and, sacrificed the food that, any food that I enjoy eating. And, I was militant about getting over 10,000 steps a day and working out super hard and just having this huge regimen. Yeah, I would look amazing that way, but I wouldn't want to maintain that. Me either. And sometimes when we're on a journey, and that when I'm coaching ladies, this belief will pop up. Jess, I don't know if this is maintainable. The reason it doesn't feel maintainable when you're on the journey often can be that you're gaining a skill. You're doing some things you haven't done before. Anytime you're new at something, yes, it will take more energy and mental bandwidth because you're learning the skill. Once you've got the skill down and you've expanded your capacity, then it feels maintainable.
But it's like somebody learning to ride a bike. At first, it's like, oh my gosh, this is really hard. I don't know. But then once you learn to ride the bike, anytime you pick up a bike later in 2 years, you're like, it's just learning the skills. Don't fool yourself when you're in skill building phase that it's not going to be maintainable. Stay the course, make what once was hard easy because you've become skilled at it. Okay. And of course, you do need an approach that is maintainable from the get-go. So for me personally, I literally am doing strength training session 3 times a week. I love how much I'm eating. On average, I'm eating around 2,000 calories a day, and I do not restrict foods. I just know how to balance things. I've maintained my results for the past 6 years, and it's only getting better since I've incorporated peptides. So if that doesn't sound maintainable, then I don't know what your version of maintainable is. So everybody's going to be a bit different in their frequency of exercise or whatnot, but it doesn't have to be as hard as you may think. You may have just done a strategy that felt really not maintainable. I remember there were so many things that I burnt out on personally, whether it was P90X, whether it was isogenics, whether it was any type of caloric deficit, and I didn't know what to do after. They're not maintainable. You need to understand how to restore your metabolism after a fat loss protocol. You need to understand, okay, what workouts actually change your body, so you're putting your effort toward that instead of just more workouts that just tax your body. We want to transform the body, not tax the body. Okay, so believing your goal is possible and it's maintainable. I already feel relaxed saying that. That's how we want to be operating, that you are trusting yourself to do this in a way that it will be maintainable for you. A lot of this comes from developing that relationship of following through on what you say you're going to do and knowing that you can make this fit for you. You can refine this and customize this to you, your lifestyle, your preferences, and what makes you happy. Literally, none of our clients' protocols are the same because we take all of that into account. When and what do you need to succeed? It's just fine tuning. Obviously, everybody has we'd use the same methodology with everybody, but it needs to be customized to the individual. And what is one, going to get our results, but two, what is something that is maintainable for this individual? It is different for everybody. Some people need more flexibility with their food. Some people want to incorporate some exercise that just makes them happy and they do a little less strength training. It depends. We've had people who non-negotiable, I do my yoga class twice a week, and we're not going to change that. Or we've had some people who want to keep their dance classes because it makes them happy. Keep that going. Absolutely. And pair it with strategic strength training. Pair it with fat loss phasing. Cool. We got you. Flexible fat loss phasing. Oh, next belief. This is a doozy. Okay, so it is the belief that ultimately the problem isn't me, it's my situation. It's my circumstances. So this can look like, if it weren't for my hormones, or if it weren't for my age, or if I hadn't had kids, if I had more resources, they're not able to invest or whatnot, or time. Oh, I don't have enough time. Okay, ultimately, this is all boiled down to a belief that the power to reach your goals is outside of you, when ultimately it's you. It reminds me of the Taylor Swift song. It's me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me. Oof. Yeah, tough pill to swallow, but that's the truth sometimes. The truth can be a tough pill to swallow, but it's what gives you your power. I will say, your goals are possible unless there's some crazy situation, like you're a paraplegic. We're talking extremes. I've never had a client who I couldn't solve a problem for, that they couldn't get their body responding. A lot of them have had to go through healing phases, whether they had candida or they needed to work with their PCOS or they needed to work with Hashimoto's or they had 6 kids or they were working 2 jobs, whatever the outside circumstance that was going on, whether their hormones were totally out of whack, whether they had a hysterectomy. We had a couple clients who were post-cancer. There can be anything outside of you that can affect how fast your results can come, but ultimately you can get there. Ultimately, the belief is the power is within me to make this happen. Anything else is an influential circumstance that I can work with. Okay. Yeah, it has an influence, but ultimately it's not going to keep me from reaching the goal. I just have to work with it. The power is within me. External circumstances cannot thwart me. Okay, however you want to phrase that belief, that's the ultimate belief that leads to somebody who's successful. We've had so many clients who will have, whether it's autoimmune conditions, whether it's intense lifestyles, and they are making progress. It's clipping along. And I share this with you to be encouraging. I'm being a bit snarky right now, I know, but ultimately, to change your beliefs, you have to see evidence of that belief being true. Start gathering the evidence. And some of the evidence is other women in your situation have done it. One of my favorite things to see right now is 60 and 70-year-olds being fit, vibrant, healthy, strong. Literally saw somebody in their mid-60s jumping off a cliff with her husband on vacation, and she was just glowing. And I was like, it was amazing to see what is possible from somebody who does not have the belief that, oh, when I get older, I age and it just gets worse. Can we ditch that belief? It doesn't have to be that way. You have so much control over how you feel as you age, and she is evidence of that. Whew, I'm feeling snarky. Okay, last one. This one's really sneaky. It even still pops in for me sometimes. Deep down, you don't feel you're worthy. No, nobody really thinks, oh, I don't feel worthy of the health and body that I want. We don't think that way. How this shows up is, it's not that important. Or, oh, like, I can miss that workout today. It's not a big deal. Oh, what's more important is the kids. What's more important is making sure my kids have, good activities and me investing in coaching. No, it's not that important. Like, I'll put all the money on my kids. I'll put all the money here. This isn't that important. That is, I am not worthy of this. When you really peel back the layers, it's a worthiness conversation, a worthiness belief. And man, it will stall any of the goals that you want. And I want you to take a moment, if this is something that pops up for you, take a deep breath and know my health, my goals for my health and my body are a big deal because they directly impact how I feel every single day. My body is my vehicle for my life. Okay. Do I want to feel like I'm driving some like beat up Mazda that's like, or do I want to feel like I'm souped up Maserati running a tight ship? Okay. Like literally, not that it even matters about luxury cars, but the idea is this does matter so much and so often will diminish what our own priorities because of like cultural conditioning that mom's the martyr or, mom puts everybody else first. Look, put your people first and put you like everybody is on the plate. I want women to be in the practice of my health does not fall off the plate because when I pour into my health, I'm able to give more. It is, when you look at it, it's more selfish to not prioritize your health than it is to. Okay. Wouldn't your kids want a mom who's healthy and taking care of themselves and pouring into her? And then that's the example that you're setting. And how do you want them to treat themselves when they grow up? Okay. Whatever that is, you get to be that and embody that. That's what they learn the most is how you're being. Now, I don't say this to like put more pressure on moms. We already have enough going on, but it's like, it's giving you a freaking permission slip to be like, this is freaking important. And I better get that into my belief system that I am worthy of this. And if that means investing in whether that's coaching, whether that's getting your blood work done, whether that's improving your nutrition, like, yeah, I'm worthy. And if you need to justify it logically, you can do a whole freaking list. Okay. But ultimately it's the belief driving the behaviors. And we need to change that. Ways to change beliefs. First, we do tapping with our clients. This is one of a really fast way to shift the beliefs. Ultimately, you need to look at your past belief, decide what you want to believe instead, and then gather evidence of why the new belief is true and rehearse, rehearse, rehearse. Now, when it comes to getting the health and body that you want, well, like I said, the number one thing you need to believe is that it is possible and it's only a matter of time. But most people are like, yeah, let's tap and believe my body is only a matter of time. It just feels cheesy. We need to gather the evidence. Okay, so here's what we do for women so that they can believe their goals are possible. Okay, because if you keep doing what you've always done for your health and body, likely isn't possible. There's some things you need to tweak. Okay, and that's why I have the other podcast episodes. But what we do is we assess our clients' blood work. We're looking at everything in their lifestyle and their goals, and then customizing the right nutrition and workouts for them, getting their sleep dialed in, getting their metabolism working for them. And something that is really helping build beliefs where they weren't before is when you incorporate some supplements and peptides that get your body responding quicker than it has. As we get into late 30s, 40s, 50s, the signals in our body are becoming more dormant and less frequent. Okay, and those peptides allow us to trigger certain signals to increase the frequency, whether that's to burn more calories, whether that's to hit a satiety, fullness signal, okay, whether that's to heal, okay, which can support your gut health so that you can actually have your body de-stress and release fat. Anyway, that's a whole nother episode. It's the way to get that belief that it is possible up is to start having wins in the direction that you want to go. Okay, how do you do that? Okay, you need an effective strategy. Okay, and some of the things that I see missing for most ladies is understanding what their nutritional needs actually are so they can be meeting those and supporting their metabolism and hormones. The only way you can heal is if you're actually eating a frickin' enough. Okay, otherwise your body's going to be stressed because it's thinking, oh my goodness, I am not getting enough food. And it's just going to focus on survival. You're not going to be in a thriving position. It's just surviving. You have to eat enough, okay? And then you take fat loss in phases. That's another podcast episode. You need to understand how to build muscle, not just burn calories, okay? You need to understand how to get great sleep. And sometimes sleep hygiene is one of the biggest needle movers you can have. How can you sleep through the night? How can you get a deeper quality of sleep? There's different things that you can do in your lifestyle and with supplements and with peptides that help your sleep, which is like one of the biggest dominoes to creating the health and body that you want. Okay, so you need to optimize the strategy and then start to have some wins. Okay, and then pairing that with peptides can help your results just come. The work that you're putting in with the nutrition, with the workouts, with the sleep, etc., you will get more bang for your buck. You'll see more results from those efforts. When you see more results, what does that do? That builds the belief that it's possible. What does that do to your action? Oh, your adherence goes up. You're more consistent. What does that do to your results? Oh, even better results. And it feeds that momentum of an upward spiral. And then that belief just gets stronger and stronger and stronger, which leads to better action, which leads to better results. And it goes up and up and up. Now, what normally happens is women go on some type of diet, or, it's masked as, okay, eat this way, eat clean, don't eat these, eat lower calories, fast here, cut this. Here's the big tool most women have, their toolbox. Some version of eating less, and this is what they give women, and I hate it. Some version of eating less for around 6 weeks and working out more. Oh, I'm going to sign up for this boot camp. Oh, I'm going to do, there's this competition thing I'm joining. Okay, we love eating healthy and exercising. I'm not going to knock it. But what do you do after the end of the 6 weeks? Because you can't just keep eating that amount. Either you're going to plateau or you're going to gain it back. And the workouts didn't build enough muscle to get the results you wanted. So you feel like you're at a dead end because there are so many missing pieces in these quote solutions women are given, like, okay, cut this and work out more, and then you have no idea what to do after. You don't know how to restore your metabolism after that fat loss phase. You're still confused about how much to eat. You probably were under eating to begin with and not even getting enough protein. You weren't even doing the right type of workouts to build the muscle to get the body that you want. You just burn more calories and ate fewer calories. Okay. And now your metabolism's slower. Oh, and your body's more stressed. What do we do after? Like, this tool is like, if we're talking about your health and body having a full solution, those are like two puzzle pieces to a much bigger pie, okay? You need the other pieces, like restoring your metabolism, understanding your nutritional needs, how to build muscle, how to optimize sleep, and then pair that with peptides, and your body's just going to be healing and responding better. Now, peptides, I'm not here to push peptides. I'm here to inform women about them. Some women are not aligned with using them, and that is okay. You can still get great results without peptides. I see them as an amplifier and an accelerator, but ultimately, the foundations are the foundations, right? And then we can amplify or accelerate them with peptides. And for some women, doing that can help them build the belief that it's possible because they're seeing more of those results, where in the past, they're like, oh, crap. I didn't think it was possible. All right. So I want to invite you to something called a metabolic reset audit. This is something where I've given you a lot of information today, but I would love to better understand where you're at, where you want to go. What are some of the things you're trying? From there, I can give you an honest evaluation on your top 1 to 3 needle movers to get your body responding in the order you should do them. Because some women, they do not need to cut calories right now. Like, that would not be the first step I would recommend. So it'll help you get moving. If you want that, just DM me audit. Okay. My gift, no strings attached. If you just want to take the audit, run with it, cool. Great with me. If you want to get help with implementing the things I say, cool. That's an option too. Either way, I'm here to give you the best guidance so that where you're putting your effort and your health and body is going toward what's effective, what's sustainable, what's going to give you the best ROI on the effort that you're putting in, instead of just, I'm putting in effort and is this the right thing? And is this just going to backfire later? Am I setting myself up to yo-yo? Am I setting myself up to plateau? I've been there. I don't want that for you. So DM me audit wherever you're at. Let's chat and go from there. And that is it. So the beliefs are: it is possible, it is maintainable, you are worthy, you have the power. I love you. We'll see you on the next episode.